and commitment to social responsibility have established us as an admired global company. Herman Miller, based here in Grand Rapids, hermanmiller.com. We're sitting on some Herman Miller Aeron stools. I'm going to try to sneak this onto the plane when I get out of here tonight. This is a nice chair.
Well, first rider's up and around the final turn as this is going to be Kelly Benefit Strategies Awesome Health again. Larry Longo has his hand on the Preem bell as we're going to shake things up in this field.
So we're going to give away $100 in hard cold cash, courtesy of Herman Miller's team here. $100 Preem lap, $100 Preem lap, $100 on the line here. The winner of the next lap, $100. And I think Daniel Bowman timed his little break just nicely. He could be well paid for this next minute of racing. $100 Preem lap, Preem lap, Preem lap, $100.
Well, yeah, that's Jason Donald off the front, and it doesn't get much better than that. You try and get into a breakaway, try and get something started, and then the announcers start ringing up $100 cash Preems. Lucky him. So all he has to do is stay away for another lap, and he'll be $100 richer.
He's got a 10-second lead with one to go. 10 seconds can be absorbed like that, especially when there's $100 on the line. And he's almost the carrot in front of the horse's nose, just inspiring them to go a little bit faster, and it's a little incentive to catch him. It's $100 when there they go, right across that gap. Bissell, the rider, coming out to play. There, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds now, the lead for
and it's a KBS rider in the chase, and it looks like he's going to be marked by either a Bissell rider or a Jelly Belly rider. The Jelly Belly rider goes right on by him. Holy cow, is they're going to be coming at us here momentarily. I think that's the corner we pick them up. And here they come, $100 again, courtesy of Herman Miller. Thank you, Herman Miller. And it looks like it will be to the line.
That was Jason Donald last time through. He's got a passenger on his wheel, though. We'll see if Donald will fend him off. He is going to do it. $100 richer for Jason Donald as he holds off Andy Jacquemain and another Kelly Benefits rider, Chad Haga, coming up there as well.
That was surprising. Andy Jacquemain bridged across to the gap with $100 on the line. All he had to do was come around him. He sat right there and said, nope, I'm just going to sit right on the back.
Bigger picture. Right now, Bissell is here to win a national championship. $100 is not going to throw those plans away. If you start sprinting for every Preem that we're throwing out here, you're going to be pretty tired by the end of this bike race. Andy Jacquemain knows it. He says, you can have the $100. I'm here to win the jersey.
You start using that matches, you'll have nothing left to light the fire. We get down to those final 4 or 5 laps when it will all be on the line. This course so far has been very, very even for everybody, as our group is still all together. Now a group of maybe 10 with a little bit of a gap in the field, but we're talking about 2 seconds, Jamie Smith.
And that group right there just now freewheeling out of the final turn, waiting for everybody to catch up, not really trying to put the hammer down, not get that synergy working. And now we see one of the blue jerseys from United Healthcare up at the front of that group. At the front, sorry. Yeah, United Healthcare right at the front. For the first time, we haven't seen them very active in the race yet today. They've been letting Kelly Benefits and Bissell doing most of the work. Now it's Kenda Geargrinder on the front, rider number 43. The first one through, Pat Lemieux.
Yeah, no surprise to see Lemieux there. He's another one of those team workers for the Kenda 5-Hour Energy presented by Geargrinder Squad as he comes to the front and tries to lift this pace just a little bit for the Kenda 5-Hour Energy Squad.
And second wheel across was Jesse Anthony. We talked about him being one of the strong men in our field here today, not necessarily suited to a Criterium sort of a kick toward the line, but he was going to be a guy that we get out there and set some tempo and really ratchet up the pace as we are down to 45 laps to go. He's coming up on the midway point.
Now this race is going by fast. And it's not a hammer fest. There's a lot of easy laps in this race, but it seems to be going by so fast. Maybe it's the excitement of knowing that we're awarding the national championship today that makes it go by so quickly. It's kind of like Christmas Day. You wait for it, and it's over before you know it. You know, now the snaking leaders, but you can see they're still 4 and 5 abreast back in the field. That's a lot of room to rest and a big draft to hide behind. And this is, by most accounts, I guess you would probably hear from these riders that this has so far been an easy pace in today's race, but the serious racing is still 45 minutes to go with it. Or excuse me, 45 laps to go. And the riders will now see 44 laps to go as they come to the start-finish line.
Another attack coming up the inside here as this rider comes up against the fence. Look at that. Out of the saddle, going to jump on the wheel. The Bissell rider. Once again, it's Frank Pip going as Kelly Benefit Strategies Optum Health chases Pip down. That is Tom Soliday in the green jersey there, reeling Pip back. He said, hey, Frank Pip, if you want to go with me, couldn't ask for a better guy.
Actually, Andy Jocks Main again at the front, taking the turn. Sorry to correct you there, sir.
They're all wearing the same clothes.
They all look the same.
Those identical twins.
Yeah, they all weigh the same.
To get it confused.
Yeah, so it was Andy Jock Mains off the front. Check that. Tom Soliday jumping on his wheel. We'll see how that breakaway is doing on the backside of the course.
Not well.
Not well. Very much all back together. Right now, this field appears that they can make the catch any time they want. So everybody at the front anyway, riding fresh and delivering the amount of watts and horsepower required to stay with these brakes and keep trying to go, but so far, not able to get away. We looked at the radar this morning, Brad Sonner. They were saying rain in Grand Rapids about noon, 1 o'clock. Is that going to change the dynamic? Obviously it would.
Yeah, certainly shakes things up a little bit as the course starts to get slipperier. It then becomes a matter of, well, who's got the biggest guts in here? Who's willing to take those corners faster than anyone else? Who's willing to lay it down, put it all on the line? But we'll see if that rain going to come down as promised. So far, dry here in Grand Rapids.
You know, that could that would change everything. As soon as those drops start to fall, and it won't take long to make this into a skating rink on these cobbles, that would change everything. You almost wonder if that's what they're waiting for, to, you know, watching the weather reports. In the meantime, we're looking for Amy Lefebvre from Hannon McKendree. Amy Lefebvre, a different way to pronounce it. Amy Lefebvre from Hannon McKendree. Also looking for Brian Walker from Herman Miller to come to the stage as well.
Another free lap here as Alex Bowden getting his rear wheel changed for Team Type 1, getting the bike checked out. He'll jump back into the race as he is being cleared by our USA Cycling officials. Again, that's Alex Bowden in the pit right now. Well, first rider's up and around the final turn as we're seeing this rider who seems to have gone way clear of this field. A major move coming out of this group on the last lap. I'm not even going to look, but I'll guess that it's a Kelly Benefit Strategies Optum Health rider. There he goes. No, that's Dan Holloway. The defending champion is now making a move here. Can he make it 2 in a row as Hollywood goes off the front?
Well, that is a long way to go. He's still got about 50K, probably 45 kilometers with 42 laps to go. So as you said, he's been wearing the Stars and Stripes kit for the last year. He doesn't get to wear it today. The 2011 and 2012 national champion is about to be crowned in a 40-some-odd laps. But Holloway, first time we call his name on a solo flyer, does he have what it takes to stay away, or is this just to kind of test his legs, see what he's got?
Well, this will be interesting to watch because these riders all have different strategies out there. If you look at these riders and say, you know, I sprinted against this guy earlier. I raced him last week, last month. I lost the sprint to him. He's just a stronger sprinter than me. Then you say, well, there's no way I'm going to take this guy to the line. I've got to get into a breakaway. And I think that's what Holloway is doing. We'll see if he goes all in on this breakaway and what the reaction from the field is.
Well, the reaction from the field is he's out of sight. He's around 2 corners now on the backside of the course. Yes, they'll see him on this long home straightaway, but for now, Daniel Holloway is long gone, and the field comes freewheeling almost at a standstill out of turn number 5 onto the home stretch here. And look where Daniel Holloway is right here at the home stretch. That's all serious business there.
Wow, Holloway is all in right now. Nothing but focus on his face. There is no test attack going on right now. Holloway is in it to win it. And now the field has to respond. Here comes Bissell.
Bissell's going to be supercharged to reel in Daniel Holloway. Daniel Holloway was riding for what team last year when he won the Pro Championship? Bissell. And now Bissell, he went to a different team, and Bissell's probably got some thorns in their side about that one.
Well, we saw Ben Jacquemains chasing there. We know Jacquemains is going to be a leader for the Bissell team. When Ben Jacquemains comes off the front of the field, you know that this is a move to be taken seriously. So it is now Holloway and Jacquemains moving off the front.
And Ben Jacquemains has that long gap. He's halfway across no man. Well, I shouldn't say halfway, but he's going across no man's land relatively easily. The field seems to be giving him the same amount of rope that they gave Holloway.
Actually, very surprising to see that they're just letting that breakaway go, but there's a good chance that they just can't respond. Jacquemains has a big task ahead of him as he's got to bridge this gap. We'll check the time gap as they're coming up and around the final turn. It's going to be Holloway that you see now, but where is Jacquemains and where is the field? Still nowhere in sight. There's Jacquemains. Holloway is gone.
Yeah, he is way off the front right now. He's working his way on this road, trying to find a spot where he can either, in this section, take advantage of that little bit of a tailwind and push him forward. It looks like Jacquemains is trying to chase this thing back as he's cut the gap about in half. So there goes Ben Jacquemains. He is our second chaser. And now the field coming through, led by Kendrick Geargrinders. We're underway with 40 laps to go. Grand Rapids, Michigan, U.S. Pro Criterium Championship on the line. Oh, man.
And that's Bay City's Jake Rytlewski riding for Kenda Geargrinder, who's leading the charge, saying, no, this isn't just going to be a two-man race. We got to get into this. If racing is getting serious, and it is, Jake Rytlewski went to the front to do that, to bring him back.
You know, and I wonder if these guys sense maybe a little changing in this weather as the clouds begin to thicken and riders think, you know what, I do not want to be in the envelope of the field. I would rather be riding clear of the field and trying to ride solo to victory. There he goes. Holloway is still off the front, and this would be interesting if Ben Jacquemains could join him. You would have two very, very strong riders at the front. Would they be working together, or would Jacquemains just sit on Holloway and try to bring the field back to him?
Well, I just saw Danny Holloway look over his shoulder and see who's coming and see what the status is behind him. And they are about a half of, that's what you're seeing on the screen there if you're watching online. That's about a half a block distance. Danny Holloway was looking over his shoulder. Now he's trying to pair up. He's got some strong legs up behind him.
They made contact now. Jacquemains and Holloway are riding together at this point. Look at them, stuck together so closely. Those guys now need each other to survive off the front of this bike race. Kenda 5 Hour Energy presented by Gear Grinder trying to lead the chase. Kelly Benevitz on his wheel. No surprise there. Can the two escapees hold on to the break?
Well, Holloway took a big, long look under his left shoulder. He went arcing into that left-hander at about 32 miles an hour, and he saw the field and brought the gap down to about 4 seconds. Hey, we've just been joined by Brian Walker. He is the CEO of Herman Miller. And first of all, how'd your ride go this morning? You guys were out there working like a professional squad.
Well, we had a great ride, but it was great to see all of our employees show up. And I know we had 60 or 70 riders here, so it was really fun to watch.
So as the CEO, is this something that you got active with as far as being active and involved and getting out there and doing stuff? Was this your idea so you could ride at lunch?
Well, I do like to ride at lunch, but you know, we have a very deep commitment to physical well-being at the company, and we actually kind of have a bit of a cycling culture, and so this ride just ties into it. And being able to get our folks not only to ride, but to be able to volunteer is a big deal for us.
Explain some of that physical well-being at the company. What do you guys do in addition to having the cycling team and other things?
Well, you know, we promote well-being throughout the company, whether we sponsor a bunch of different walks and runs all the time, as well as we have different programs where people like put on pet meters and those kind of things, so that we can constantly be trying to bring down our healthcare costs and make our people more healthy.
Can Herman Miller hold off this weather?
We sure hope so.
Thank you very much to Herman Miller. Great job out there watching those guys ride this morning, Jamie Smith. I mean, they were literally a very well working dynamic, a group together, just like we're seeing the Bissell and the Kelly Benefit squads. So thank you very much. What a great turnout. I think this is going to be a big weekend for you guys.
It's fantastic for Grand Rapids. It's fantastic for West Michigan to have this kind of an event here where we can see great professional cycling and have the community involved. So good fun for everyone.
Grand Rapids, please give it up for Brian Walker and Herman Miller, proud sponsors of our National Criterium Championship, presented by Herman Miller and Bissell.
I noticed he didn't have shaved legs, and we'll forgive him for all that he's brought to the sport. We'll forgive him for having hairy legs.
Yeah, how many CEOs shave their legs? At least one.
I think I don't want to outmark Bissell, but I don't know. I think he does.
2. Dude's not even a bike racer. He's going to shave his legs.